Hey, hello, hello. Hi all my fluffy and not so fluffy around the edged friends. Hope we are all doing really well today. I'm Honjo, welcome to my channel. Before we even begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate all your support. Today we're going to be doing a lower body stretch, so we'll be doing some lower back stretches and then a lot of leg stretches. So to remind me, you can and possibly may need or use a strap. If you don't have a strap, you could use a towel, but you might not need one either as well. I just find, you know, with the belly in the way, it helps me to have a strap to kind of pull my legs up. Yoga blocks, they're always useful, especially with stretching, but even sometimes with working out they can be useful. So if you have yoga blocks, go grab them please. If you don't have yoga blocks, you could always use a cushion or a blanket, and in fact we probably might be using a blanket anyway, so just go grab all that stuff just in case you need it. If you need it, great. If you don't, that's fine. And let's get started. First of all, we are going to do a warm-up because you mustn't ever stretch cold muscles. So I'm just going to get the old phone ready so I don't take too long. So we're just going to do a few warm-up exercises and then we'll go straight into stretching. So warm-up is going to be about 5 minutes of warm-up. So let's just do our leg kicks, you know, bum kicks, and kind of open our arms out, stretch our arms. We're not going for speed, just warming up a little bit. Let's just do some hip circles. We'll do some high knees. So we're just going to be marching. Get those knees up if possible. You can go faster if you'd like, but you don't have to. Just trying to warm up this lower body. I always feel bad for the neighbour when I'm doing this, but it's the middle of the day, so should be fine. Okay, let's do some hip circles the other way. Next we're going to be doing some side jacks, so just step it out to the side. You don't have to use your arms, but it will get that heart beating a little bit faster. Do some neck and shoulder, neck rolls. Okay, last thing we'll do is just legs out, and we're just going to kind of pivot from foot to foot. At first I want you to bring your toe up as you go from each side. So make sure you bring your toe up. And then in a second we're going to keep our toe down. And that's just going to warm us up a little bit more. Get that inner leg warmed up. Okay, keep those feet, toes down, and just go from side to side. Go at your own pace. I feel like this one pulls a little bit more with the toes down. Okay, that is our warm-up completed. We're now going to go straight in for some stretches. The first stretch we're going to do is we're going to do downward dog. And that's going to help stretch out our calves and our back and our glutes and our hamstrings. So take your feet a comfortable distance apart. If you need to make room for the belly, then make them a little bit wider. And we're just going to roll down. Bend those legs a little bit if you need to. Hands out in front of you. And then if you can, straighten those legs up. And then to really stretch out the calves, give your legs a little bit of a bend. And then push those heels into the ground. You should be feeling it stretching out the calf. Come forward. Just going to relax a second. And then back up. Bend those legs. Push through the heel. Really stretch out that calf. Keep breathing. Okay, bend your legs a bit more, and we're just going to slowly come up to a standing position. We're going to do one more calf stretch before we get down on the floor. If you have a wall handy, that's going to help. If you don't have a wall, you can do it without a wall. So, bring your leg out in front of you, your right leg out in front, bend your right leg, and just lean into it and push. I do find if I can do it on the wall, I get a better stretch in my calf, but you don't need a wall. So we're just going to hold it. And come up. And then change to the other foot. So left leg in front this time. Keep your back leg straight and just push. Forward. Let's change feet. So right leg in front, left leg back and straight, and push. Feel that stretch in the calf. And change feet. Okay, we're going to head down now to the floor a bit more. Before we get started with the rest of the stretches, I do want to say, when you're stretching, it should not give you any pain. If you're in pain, please stop what you're doing, either pull back a bit and don't push as hard, or stop that stretch completely. I do not want anybody getting hurt. Stretching is not supposed to be painful. You might feel a little bit of discomfort where the muscle is stretching, but if it's painful, then you've gone too far and you need to stop right away. That being said, let's head on down to the mat. See you in a sec. So our next stretch is going to be the cat-cow position that we do in yoga. And this is just going to help stretch out back and your glutes. In order to support you so it's not too harsh on your wrists, because it can be a lot of weight on our wrists, make sure you open your hands out really wide, your fingers really as wide as you can, and then put them down, and that will help distribute the weight more equally. And then spine in neutral position, and then we're just gonna raise our back up. Keep breathing. And down. This is actually a very good exercise if you have back pain as well. Back up. And down. Up. Down. Last one, back up. And down. Next, we're going to be doing a modified pigeon pose. It's a little bit tricky, so we're really going to take our time to get into position. You're going to need your yoga blocks for this. If you don't have yoga blocks, like I said, you can use a blanket or cushions to support you. So let me show you what we're going to do. Bring your right leg out in front of you. Should kind of be like this, and make sure that foot's flexed. You're then going to take your yoga block and pop it under your right cheek to support that hip. And then if you want, you could also use some cushions here to help support you, help keep you up. These are not brilliant. If you can go lower and really stretch, and you should be feeling it stretch out in your hip. I'm just going to turn around and show you what it looks like from behind as well. So, taking that right leg in front of us, left leg straight back out, pop that yoga block underneath your hip, and then we're just going to rest here, and you should really feel stretch here. If you're not feeling the stretch there, maybe move this leg and make sure it's really straight behind you. And let's just take a few deep breaths. Out, in, out. Okay, let's bring the leg back to the front. And let's change to the other leg. So this time, we're going to bring our left leg in front of us. And then we're going to slide that right leg back, keep it straight back. And then just rest your left cheek on that. If you want additional pillows and blankets underneath to support you from the front, that's fine. Or if you're comfortable, you can just kind of hold yourself here, stretch out that hip. Definitely we have different sizes that are tighter. So one side of your body, you might be able to get into a position much more easily. You might be able to stretch it a lot further. And then when you go to do the other side, you're kind of wondering, why doesn't this stretch as well? But you know, it's because we use everything in our body differently. We have a stronger side, we have a weaker side. So just by, you know, practicing these things, we can try and help make it equal again. But definitely, you know, we show favor to one side of our body. Okay, let's get out of that. The next pose we're going to do is to stretch out our quadriceps, our quads. So let's stay on our knees, and you can tuck your feet under, tuck your toes under, and then we're just going to lean back. If you like, you can hold onto your feet, and you should feel a real stretch in your quads. If you need to, put your legs a bit wider for support. That will definitely make it easier. So if you make your legs wider, you can still do it and still get a good stretch in your quads. The closer your legs are together, the more of the stretch you're going to get. If you can't rest your hands on your ankles, on your feet, you can just stay up and lean back, and you should probably still feel it. Let's just take a few deep breaths. We're now going to stretch out our inner thighs by doing a butterfly stretch. So come into a seated position. If you need to, tuck or pop a pillow cushion under your bottom, and that will help keep your hips a bit more raised and might make it a bit more comfortable sat on the floor for you. So just sit on the very edge of the cushion. Let's bring our feet together, touching, and then just let our legs just naturally fall. If you want to intensify this stretch, you can lean forward a little bit, kind of pull on your feet, and you're definitely going to feel it in here a lot more. So let's just hold this for a few seconds, making sure we're breathing all the time. You don't want to be rammed in your back, so make sure your back is flat, straight. Okay, let's just come up a bit, just flutter those little butterfly wings. And let's take it out once more. Stretching makes me feel very relaxed and sleepy. Okay, let's just flutter those wings. One last time, here we go. Sit back up. Oh. Okay. Grab your strap or your towel or your belt, whatever you want, and let's come get on the floor. We're not going to need it right this second, but we will in a mo. So the next exercise we're going to do is to help with core stability. So bend your knees, keep your feet flat on the floor. And you should feel, you can't see it, but your lower back is kind of slightly raised off the floor. So what I want you to do is tense your ab muscles, your stomach muscles. Say as if someone's going to punch you in the stomach, or like when we do a crunch. And you should be pushing now your lower back into the floor. Make sure your feet stay flat on the floor, Shoulders relaxed on the floor. You can put your hands up by your head or keep them by your side. And then release. And tense. I'm just going to hold it. Make sure you continue to breathe while we do this exercise. And release. Take a deep breath in. And tense up again. You should have some rock hard abs right now. They're under there. Keeping it tensed. And release. Last one. And tense. Okay, time to grab your strap. We're going to do a hamstring stretch. So, you're just going to want to thread the strap around your leg. So if you do it lower, it's going to be less intense. If you want a more intense stretch, you can bring it up higher. And just pull that leg as far as it's comfortable, and let's hold. You can have a slight bend in your knee as well, that's fine, but you should be feeling it in your hamstring. And bring it down. Swap sides. Bring your other side up and pull. Release. Let's go back to that left leg again. Oops. Come back here. And let's hold it. Release. Before we go back over to the right side, we're just going to do a glute stretch. So what we need to do is actually, thread the strap underneath your right thigh, bring your left leg, cross it over, pop it on, and then we're just going to use the strap to help pull up our leg. If you can hold onto your leg and pull it up, that's fine, but you might need a strap, and then you should be feeling the pull in your left glute. Relax. Put your left leg down. Let's do another right hamstring stretch. So bring your strap up and just pull. Some days you might be tighter than others, and that's okay. stretch, so thread your strap underneath your left leg. Bring your right leg up, cross it over, and then let's just use the strap to help keep this leg pulled and feel the stretch in your glute. Relax. Okay, we're just going to repeat that one more time. So left hamstring. That down. Bring your left leg over onto your right leg. Let's thread, oh god, I can't do it like that. Let's thread the strap under first. Put your left leg back over the right knee. And let's lift up our right leg, help with the strap. And then feel that left glute stretching. Your leg down. Let's bring that strap up again on that right leg for a hamstring stretch. Place that foot down. Okay, final time. Let's thread it back through that left thigh. Put your left foot back flat on the floor. Bring your right leg up, cross it over on your left knee. And then let's pull up that left leg for a glute stretch. Feel it in your right glute. Down. Okay, let's just take a moment on the floor. And then let's slowly roll on back up into a sitting position. But really just take your time and come up at your own speed. Okay, for our last set of stretches, we're going to do a child's pose. So bring your knees out wide, let your two big toes touch. Knees out wide if you need to accommodate for a belly. If it's more comfortable for you to have cushioning here, that's fine, and I do suggest it. You can make it nice and high actually. So pop these blocks underneath. And pop that on top. Then we're just going to rest on our blocks. Make sure it's comfortable. It's a little bit high. Just feel a nice stretch. one of the old boobies though, can't it? It's not my favourite position. Okay, we're now going to go into a modified lizard. If you have a wall handy, you might need it. I've just brought this little chair to help me. If you want extra cushioning for your knees, you can use a cushion or use your blanket. So let's pop our right knee on the blanket, bring our left leg out, and so if you need a wall to support you, you can use a wall or a chair or something. And then we're just going to kind of go into a lunge position and really stretch out those hip flexors. Or you could even use your blocks for support as well. So you can pop your blocks up next to you and put your hands on your yoga blocks. Okay, let's come back up. Let's change sides. So, left knee on the blanket, right leg forward, and just come into a lunge position. Like I said, if you need to use your yoga blocks to support you, that's fine. If you want to hold on to a wall, that's fine. If you don't need anything, that's fine. We're going to take a few deep breaths in this position, and then we're going to change back to the other side and stretch it out again. Okay, let's return back. Do our other side. So, right knee on your cushion, left leg forward, and stretch. Take a few deep breaths. And release, come back up. Change leg. Did you hear that crack? Here we go. Now this side is definitely tighter for me. Feels a little bit more tender, should we say, when I do this. Okay, let's return. Okay, the final move we are going to do is going to be a straddle stretch. We're going to be stretching our inner thighs. Once again, I'm just going to pop this blanket behind me and sit on it so it's a little bit more comfortable being on the floor. So, open your legs, you know, as far as you can get them. And then, actually, even for me, just sat like this and sitting up straight, I can feel a pull in my hamstring and my inner thigh. So I'm just going to keep it like this. If you need a bit more of a stretch, you can lean forward a bit. Make sure you keep that back straight though. I'm just going to breathe. Breathe into it, you might be able to go a little bit further forward. If you can't, don't worry, that's not the aim. But the more you do this, the more flexibility you're going to get and the more you'll be able to stretch. Okay, bring it up. Just shake it out a little bit. Here we go again. It's going to be our last one for today. especially my bottom muscles, I realized. So just try and relax. Really just allow those muscles to kind of do their thing and loosen. Okay, shake it out. Let's bring them together. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it's a bit of a change of pace from our usual workouts, but stretching really is so important for the body, so I do suggest you do take some time each week to stretch your body, focus on different areas, or do a whole body stretch. And yeah, thank you for coming, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.